First, please like and subscribe for more video like this. Men of Steel, the German soldier in the trenches. Forget the parades. Forget the polished boots and the proud, spiked pickelhaube of 1914. That soldier was a boy playing at war. The man who replaced him in 1916, 17, 18. He was something else entirely. He was a Frontschwein, a frontline pig. And he was made of steel. But not the gleaming steel of a new bayonet. This was the steel of a shell casing, battered, scarred, and cold to the touch. Let me take you to his world. It is a world of gray. Gray sky, gray mud, gray faces. The first thing that marks him is his helmet, the Stahlhelm. That iconic, coal scuttle shape. It was not for ceremony. It was a tool for survival, designed to deflect shrapnel and falling debris in the trench. It made him look anonymous, inhuman, like a golem molded from the very earth he fought in. His home was the trench, but do not picture a simple ditch. It was a complex, living entity. The German trench was often a feat of military engineering. Deep, reinforced with timber and corrugated iron, and networked with bunkers and dugouts that plunged into the earth. These were not mere holes. They were underground barracks, often equipped with bunks, stoves, and electric light. To a British Tommy peering across no man's land, it must have seemed the Germans lived in a fortress, but a fortress in a swamp. For the steel of the man was tested not just by bullets, but by the elements. The damp that rotted his wool uniform into rags. The rats, grown as large as cats, scurried over him as he slept. The lice, the laws, that were his constant, maddening companions, breeding in the seams of his clothes, feasting on his skin. He would run a candle flame along the seams to hear them pop, a small, grim victory in an endless war. The men of steel were not unfeeling automatons. They were fathers, sons, and brothers, trapped in a nightmare of industrial slaughter. Their steel was not an innate quality. It was a carapace, a hard shell grown to protect the soft, terrified human within. It was the will to endure another hour, another day, for the man in the hole next to them. They held the line for years, these men of steel. They fought with incredible tenacity and skill. But in the end, the steel was worn down, not by a single decisive blow, but by the relentless, grinding attrition of a war that asked for everything a man could give, and then asked for more. The true story of the German soldier in the trenches is not one of invincible iron men, but of ordinary men who had to become steel to survive. And the greatest tragedy is that so many of them, even if they returned home, left a part of that soft, human self buried forever in the mud of Flanders and the chalk of the Somme. His spirit was steel, forged in the fire of the Trommelfeuer, the drumfire barrage. He knew the sounds of war like a farmer knows the weather. The sudden crack of a sniper's rifle. The building scream of an incoming shell. The relentless, earth-shaking thunder of an artillery bombardment that could last for days. A noise so profound it became a physical presence, vibrating in his teeth and bones. He learned to sleep through it, to eat through it, to live in the belly of the storm. And when the barrage lifted and the whistle blew for the enemy attack, the steel was put to its ultimate use. He manned the Maskenengewehr 08, the MG-08, a brutal, water-cooled, belt-fed weapon that weighed over 60 kilograms. It was not a rifle, it was a system. It required a crew. It was the scythe that would harvest the fields of no man's land. In those moments, the man of steel became a component of the machine, his humanity submerged in the mechanical rhythm of loading, aiming, firing, and clearing jams. But do not be mistaken. This steel was brittle. It could crack. They called it Kriegsneuros, war neurosis. The trembling hands, the vacant stare, the sudden blindness or muteness with no physical cause. It was the spirit breaking under the pressure. The man of steel was, after all, a man of flesh. He felt the searing pain of a wound, the gut-wrenching fear of a gas attack, the soul-crushing grief of seeing his comrade torn apart beside him.